5:30, and it's time to start the agenda portion of the May meeting. So come on in, have a seat. We've got several special guests we'll be recognizing here in a little bit. But before we do that, we'll have to have our agenda meeting. And so welcome to the Benton City Council agenda portion of this. And we'll start with committee reports and motions. And I know there's nothing from the A&P Commission, Animal Service Commissioner, so we'll move down to community service and go from there. All right, any questions on this one? Nothing from the council? All right, we'll move right into the Finance Committee, and I believe Alderman Morrow is going to do that since he conducted the committee meeting last week.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. We have two ordinances and one resolution for tonight's meeting. Ordinance number 28 of 2026. This is permitting certain employees and their relatives to conduct business with the city of Benton pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 14-42-107, prescribing the extent of such authority and for other purposes. Then we have ordinance number 29, 2026. This is implementing a $300 monthly benefit increase for all eligible participants of the Benton Fire Pension Fund and for other purposes. And then finally, Mr. Mayor, we have resolution number 25 of 2026. This is providing a salary increase for all city of Benton non-elected employees, amending the 2026 city of Benton budget to increase expenditure appropriations and for other purposes. And that's all for finance.
And anyone on the council have any questions about any of these three? All right, hearing none, we'll move. There's nothing from Parks this month or personnel, so we'll move to the Planning Commission.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We have four ordinance coming tonight. We have ordinance number 30 of 2026. It's an ordinance rezoning property identified as parcel number 805-04700-017 in the city of Benton, Saline County, Arkansas, from R2 Single Family District to C2 General Commercial, amending the official zoning map and for other purposes. We have ordinance number 31 of 2026. It's an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a barber polish to be located at 1220 Military Road in the city of Benton, Arkansas, and for other purposes. We have ordinance number 32 of 2026. It's an ordinance accepting the annexation of certain territory into the city of certain territories in the city of Benton, Arkansas, approving the schedule of services to be extended to said areas, assigning such territory to a zoning district, assigning such territory to a ward, and for other purposes. And last, we have an ordinance number 33 of 2026. It's an ordinance accepting the annexation of certain territory into the city of Benton, Arkansas, approving the schedule of services to be extended to the said area, assigning such territory to a zoning district, assigning such territory to a ward and for other purposes. And that's all.
All right, any council member have a question about any of these four ordinances? All right, hearing none, we'll go into the PUC Commission.
Yes, sir. I will be stepping in for Mr. Member Hart for this. We have a resolution number 20 of 26. It's a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of a Fly GT 32 of 22, 32 of 2, 32 of 02 60 HPH discharge 460V NT pump with the pump station equipment for Benton Utilities and for other purposes. And that's all we have, sir.
All right, any council person have a question or comment about this one? All right, hearing none, we're going to close the agenda meeting, and we're going to start the council meeting in 5 minutes. That'll be at 5:40. Good evening. We're going to start the May council meeting, so I thank all of y'all for coming. We do have several special guests that we'll recognize here in a minute. But as custom, we'll always start with an invocation, and Pastor Jim Gardner will lead us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Lee. So please rise and move your head coverings as we give thanks to the Lord.
God our Father, we thank you this evening for every gift that comes from above, the gift of life, the gift of being able to call this city home. God, I thank you for the gift of our city leadership, for their integrity and sincerity, God, I pray that you will give them tonight a spirit of cooperation and wisdom, to not act in self-interest, but act in the best interest of our city. God, I thank you that our city is united. I thank you that our city cares. And I thank you for the servant leaders and the servant spirit in Benton. I thank you for each man and woman on the council, for our mayor, our city clerk, our city attorney, for the citizens that are here to show their interest. And I pray, God, that your blessing will be in this room tonight, in everything that is said and every decision that is made. Through Jesus I pray. Amen.
It would help if you turned that on. Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Hart is here. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you would, roll call.
Frank Baptist.
Here.
Steve Brown. Here. Ann Spencer Cole. Here. Evelyn Reed. Here. Chad Slaughter. Here. Jeff Morrow. Here. Judd Hart. Here. Trevor Valines. Here. Steve Lee. Here. Jeff Ham.
Here.
Ken present?
Yes, sir.
All right, for your statement, please.
I affirm that I have not engaged in any prohibited discussion, deliberation, or polling regarding any item on this meeting's agenda outside of a properly noticed and open meeting in compliance with the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act as amended by Act 505 of 2025. Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
Yes.
Ann Spencer Cole.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Chad Slaughter.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
Trevor Valines.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Be 10 affirmatives.
10 affirmatives. All right, thank you. All right, council, you have before you the minutes from April the 27th of this year. Do I have a motion to accept them?
So moved. Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, they have been accepted. We'll move to special recognition, and we have some young ladies at this time. Miss Saline County, and Miss Saline County teen, if you'll come forward, Mr. Trevor Valines will introduce you.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, let me just say what a privilege it is to know these young ladies, and I'm so proud of the way that y'all represent not just our city, but our county, whether that be at community events or even at the state level. For those that don't know, they also will be competing in the Miss Arkansas competition later in June, and it will be fantastic to have them serve as Miss Arkansas teen from right here in Saline County. I want to read their bios real quick. We have before us Miss Saline County teen Presley Bennett, who is the co-founder of Peaceful Places, an initiative that establishes calming rooms in schools to support student mental health and emotional regulation. Through this work, she has partnered with the Blue and You Foundation to help expand funding opportunities across all counties in Arkansas. She is also the author of Discovering Peaceful Places in Arkansas, a coloring book that promotes mental health awareness through nature and creativity. Presley has represented Arkansas through her platform in the top 5 at Miss Arkansas Teen 2025. In Washington, D.C., she spoke with her congressman about mental health advocacy and was honored to lay a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery and donated copies of her coloring book to Walter Reed Medical Center in Maryland. She has further explored her passion for children's health through job shadowing at Arkansas Children's Hospital in pediatric cardiology. Presley is committed to expanding mental health resources and creating supportive environments for youth in Saline County and beyond. Miss Saline County Kennedy Stanley is an honor graduate of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where she earned her degree in rehabilitation services while remaining actively involved in campus. She is currently a post-bachelorette pre-medical student at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock and aspires to become a women's health physician focused on improving healthcare outcomes and advocating for women and families in Arkansas. Kennedy currently serves as Miss Saline County 2026 and will compete for the title of Miss Arkansas 2026 this June. As a top 15 semifinalist at Miss Arkansas 2025, she earned 12 scholarship awards, totally nearing $14,000 during her first year of competition. Her community service initiative, Rhythms of Resilience, Anxiety Awareness, promotes anxiety disorder education and mental health support among Arkansans. Earlier this month, Kennedy partnered with County Judge Matt Bromley to officially recognize Anxiety and Depression Awareness Week in Saline County. In her role as Miss Saline County, Kennedy has dedicated herself to community engagement and service throughout the county. She has volunteered with local organizations and participated in community events, including serving Thanksgiving meals at First United Methodist Church, speaking at local Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebrations, and volunteering with the Boys and Girls Club of Saline County and the Bryant Youth Association. Kennedy is passionate about serving others and using her platform to encourage confidence, resilience, and leadership with her community. Let's give these ladies a round of applause.
Make sure the green button's on if you'd like to say something.
It is. First off, I want to thank Mayor Tom Farmer and Trevor Valines for having us today, and our beautiful director, Allison Hogue, for making today possible. I also want to give a big shout out to Dodie Miller, who took this beautiful photograph behind me that will be displayed. It's our honor to serve Saline County this year, and although I'm not from Saline County, I'm actually from Whitehall. I've been welcomed to this community with open arms. I've been supported continuously throughout my year, and it's my pride and my privilege to wear this sash and to represent you all at Miss Arkansas next month. So I ask that you continue to support Presley and I on our journey to Miss Arkansas and Miss Arkansas's Teen 2026, and we're hoping that we can bring home both titles for Saline County.
Just as Kennedy said, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be here. And thank you for displaying our portrait. That is certainly an accomplishment to be able to, be here and see the incredible work that you are doing. And I'm proud to be able to represent you guys at Miss Arkansas's team this year. It'll be my last year competing, so being able to represent the community that really raised me is extra special to me. I am a hometown twin with Kennedy. I grew up here in Saline County before I moved back to Whitehall, so it really is a full circle moment to get to come back and to serve you. I've been able to distribute my coloring book to the Saline County Children's Advocacy Centers here. So it has been a very special project of mine. I hope to continue to serve this community and to bring home the crown as Miss Arkansas's teen. So thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, ladies, for being here. Thank you. Good luck. Now, next young lady, Miss Arkansas Teen Amelia, couldn't be here tonight because she had other obligations, but I would like to read her bio. Her reign started June the 13th, 2025. She attends Bryant Junior High, grade 9. There were 41 contestants in the pageant. When the reign began and when it ends is June the 13th of this year. She won at age 14 and was the youngest delegate at the Miss America's Teen last year. She earned full tuition scholarships through her win, and additionally has been awarded over $19,000 in additional scholarship money. She also received first runner-up at Miss America's Teen for their Teens in Action program, and I worked with her lights and children in foster care when she has delivered over 37,000 night lights to children in foster care over her reign. Pretty impressive. Great job, young ladies, and thank you for everything you do. So at this time, we're going to move in. I'm going to ask Cindy to read the bios for our Benton Matters fire hydrant painters.
Girls, if y'all would come forward, please. Briley Lockridge, senior, daughter of Natasha and Michaela Blockridge. Briley plans to attend the U of A Pulaski Tech after graduation. After finishing her basics, she plans to attend UAMS to finish her degree in radiology technology. Mackenzie Ackley, she will be a senior next year. She is the daughter of Jackie and Andrew Ackley. For her senior year, she plans to attend as many sporting events and school events as possible to support her school. She plans to attend college. At this moment, she is unsure where.
Before, let me tell you, the red, white, blue fire hydrants, as well that you see around town, these young ladies, four of them are doing for us, in honor of the 250th celebration of the United States of America. And I think that Alderman Lyons said when he was a kid, they did this back in '70. No. He found newspaper articles that said they did this back in 1976. So these ladies have agreed, they designed it, and they're doing all the painting. So Chief Hodges and men have been kind enough to leave them alone. Well, they're painting because they're not vandalizing. They're actually making it beautiful.
Okay. Mackenzie was the second one that I finished. Maggie Reed will be a junior next year. She is the daughter of Jim and Stephanie Reed. She is a member of the Lady Panther softball and a member of the BHS cheer team. After high school, she plans to attend UCA and hopes to study orthodontics.
Don't forget, you still got a few more to come.
Yeah. Did you mention the pictures were up there? I don't.
And the pictures are up on the screen if you see the work they've done. All right.
I didn't read. Did we want to?
Yeah, do that one.
I'm getting. Okay, so the fire hydrants were part of an organization that we have called Benton Matters. And I'm just going to let you know who is on that committee, which is quite a few. It's Ashton Adcock, Tom Baxley, Chip Bosley, Jerry Bridges, Jesse Clark, Bill Eldridge, Cody Ford, Gary James, Belinda Jones, Kevin Malone, Chris Snell, myself, Rachel River, Shelley Poole, John Ritchie, Blake Torres, Matt Tebow, and Trevor Valines.
And they're the group that wants to beautify Benton in different ways and help celebrate all the mighty things we do. So I appreciate all their effort. They meet once a month to make decisions. So, all right, let's move on into committee reports and motions, and we'll move right into community service.
Yes, sir. At this time, entertain a motion to read and adopt Resolution 24 of 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion in a few seconds to read and adopt resolution number 2426, please.
Resolution 24, 2026, a resolution to condemn the structure located at 1918 Bennett Road and for code enforcement to raise said property in accordance with Arkansas state law and city ordinance and for the purposes.
All right, is there anyone here from 1918 Bennett Road that would like to speak? Come on up, sir. State your name.
I am currently the executive of the state. I spoke at the last meeting. We had some technical difficulties getting the property sold, but we are under contract now, and our closing date did pass, so we are setting a new one. I'm waiting on the legal team to approve that from the title companies, and then we'll be ready to roll on to sell those property. And I talked to the potential buyer, and they said their first act of business is to get rid of that house. So, all right.
All right, any questions or comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Chad Slaughter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
Trevor Valines,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
and Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, resolution 2426 passes with 10 yes votes. All right, we'll move down to Finance Committee. Councilmember Morrow.
Motion to read and adopt ordinance number 28 of 2026.
Second. We have a motion, a second, to read and adopt ordinance number 28 of 2026, please.
Ordinance number 28 of 2026, an ordinance permitting certain employees and/or their relatives to get business with the city of Benton, Arkansas pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107, prescribing the extent of such authority and for other purposes. Whereas Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107 generally prohibits municipal officials and employees from being interested directly or indirectly in the profits of contracts for furnishing supplies, equipment, or services to the municipality unless specifically permitted by ordinance. And whereas the Bureau of Legislative Audit has recommended the city adopt an ordinance authorizing employees who provide services outside the scope of their employment and/or their relatives to conduct business with the city when such services are in the best interests of the city. And whereas, but for the adoption of this ordinance, Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107 would prohibit the city from purchasing or otherwise obtaining such services from the employees and/or their relatives identified herein. And whereas the city council finds it is in the best interest of the city to permit the employees and/or their relatives identified in Exhibit 1 to provide such services to the city, subject to the limitations and disclosures required by law. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, authorization to conduct business with the city. Pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107, the employees and/or their relatives of employees identified in Exhibit 1 attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference are hereby authorized to conduct business with and furnish services to the city of Benton to the extent described in Exhibit 1, notwithstanding the provisions of Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107. Section 2, scope of authorization. Authority granted herein shall be limited solely to the services, goods, or business relationships identified in Exhibit 1. Nothing in this ordinance shall authorize any employee or relative to participate in the consideration, approval, administration, or oversight of any contract, payment, or transaction in which they have a direct or indirect financial interest. Section 3, compliance with the purchasing requirements. All purchases and contracts authorized under this ordinance shall remain subject to all applicable purchasing policies, competitive bidding requirements, and other provisions of Arkansas law and city ordinance. Section 4, severability. Any provision of this ordinance determined to be invalid or unenforceable, such determination shall not affect the validity or enforceability of any remaining provisions of this ordinance. Section 5, repeal. All ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
All right, there are 95 employees on this list. Legislative audit requires us to do this year after year to allow the employees to work for the city outside their normal 40-hour day is what this is about. So any questions or comments from the public? From the council? Please take a vote.
Jeff Morrow? Judd Hart?
Yes.
Trevor Valines?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown?
Yes.
Ann Spencer Cole?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Chad Slaughter?
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 28 of 26 passes with 10 yeses. Councilmember Morrow.
Motion to read and adopt ordinance number 29 of 2026. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt ordinance number 29 of 26, please.
Ordinance number 29 of 2026, an ordinance implementing a $300 monthly benefit increase for all eligible participants of the Benton Fire Pension Fund and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Benton Fire Pension Fund has been consolidated into and is administered by the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System, LOFI. And whereas the City Council has determined it is in the best interest of the eligible participants of the Benton Fire Pension Fund to authorize a monthly benefit increase in the amount of $300 per month. And whereas this benefit increase shall apply to all eligible participants of the Benton Fire Pension Fund except alternate payees under a qualified domestic relation order. And whereas the City Council desires for the increase to be payable effective July 1, 2026, subject to the administrative procedures and requirements of LOFI. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, benefit increase authorized. City Council hereby authorizes a monthly benefit increase in the amount of $300 per month for all eligible participants of the Benton Fire Pension Fund except alternate payees under a qualified domestic relations order. The increase shall be payable effective July 1, 2026, subject to the administrative procedures and requirements of LOFI. Section 2, administration by LOFI. The City Council recognizes that LOFI is the administrator of the Benton Fire Pension Fund. The mayor, city clerk, chief administrative officer, or their designee is hereby authorized to provide Laffey with an official copy of this ordinance and to execute or provide any related documents necessary to implement the benefit increase authorized herein. Section 3, severability and provision of this ordinance is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect any other provision that can be given effect without the invalid provision, and to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Section 4, repeal our ordinances, resolutions, or parts thereof in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
All right, there are 22 remaining retirees or fixers that get, so the average age is 71.7. It will cost the $12,001 to give the $6,600 a month raise. All it does is it extends for 9 years to 2036 where it's fully funded. So, any comments or questions from the public? From the council? Yes, sir. Mr. Lee?
Mention it does not affect the general fund one bit. That's all.
Anyone else? Please take a vote.
Judd Hart. Trevor Valines.
Yes.
Steve Lee. Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
Yes.
Ian Spencer Cole.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Chad Slaughter.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance number 2926 passes 9-1. Councilmember Morrow?
Last item on the finance committee is, I'd like to make a motion to read and adopt resolution number 25, 2026 in its entirety, please.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt resolution number 25 of 2026, please.
Resolution 25 of 2026, a resolution providing for a salary increase for all City of Benton non-elected employees, amending the fiscal year 2026 City of Benton budget to increase expenditure appropriations and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas previously appropriated a 2.5% pay increase for all non-elected employees in the fiscal year 2026 City of Benton budget adopted by Resolution 99 of 2025. And whereas the City Council has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to previously approved pay adjustment to 3% for all non-elected employees effective with the first payroll of June 2026. And whereas the City Council finds that amendment of the fiscal year 2026 budget is necessary to account for the increased salary expenditures associated with this adjustment. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City salary increase authorized. The City Council hereby authorizes a total 3.3% increase to the pay for all current non-elected employees of the City of Benton, Arkansas, effective with the first payroll of June 2026. Section 2, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment. Pursuant to the authority granted Arkansas Code Ante 1458-202 and 1458-203, the City Council hereby amends the fiscal year 2026 City of Benton budget adopted by Resolution 99 of 2025 to account for the salary adjustments authorized herein. The revised expenditure appropriations for city departments are attached hereto as Exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and are incorporated herein by reference. Adoption of this resolution shall constitute an appropriation amendment pursuant to the foregoing statutes. Section 3, repeal or all resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
All right, we budgeted $196,000 to give the employees a 2.5% raise, but because inflation is so high right now, we wanted to give them a 4% raise, but honestly, that was not sustainable for the 27 years. So the recommendation is we move it to a 3% raise, which is better than nothing at this point in time, even though inflation is about 3.8 today is what I read. So any comments or questions from the public about this? This is across the board for all full-time employees. Questions or comments from the council? All right, please take a vote.
Trevor Valines,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Ian Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Chad Slaughter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart. Yes, sir.
All right, Resolution 25 of 26 passes with 10 yeses. Anything else, Councilmember Moore?
Nothing else, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
All right, we've got nothing from Parks or Personnel at this time, so we'll move down to the Planning Commission, please.
Yes, sir, make a motion to read and adopt ordinance number 30 of 2026.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt ordinance number 30 of 2026, please.
Ordinance number 30 of 2026. An ordinance rezoning property identified as parcel number 805-04700-017 in the city of Benton, Saline County, Arkansas, from R2 Single Family District to C2 General Commercial, amending the official zoning map and for other purposes. Whereas Richardson Engineering LLC, the applicant on behalf of Posey Investment Properties, the property owner, filed an application with the Planning Commission of the city of Benton, Arkansas, requesting that certain real property described in Exhibit A and identified as parcel number 805-04700-017 be rezoned from R2 Single Family District to C2 General Commercial. And whereas the Planning Commission set the application for public hearing on May the 5th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Notice of the public hearing was published in newspaper of general circulation, Saline County, Arkansas. An additional notice provided in accordance with applicable Arkansas law and city requirements. And whereas following the public hearing, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the requested rezoning to the City Council. And whereas the City Council finds that the requested rezoning is consistent with the city's planning objectives, zoning regulations, anticipated use of the property, and the public health, safety, and welfare. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas. Section 1, rezoning, amendment of zoning map. The real property described in Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference hereby rezoned from R2 Single Family District to C2 General Commercial. The official zoning map of the City of Benton, Arkansas shall be amended accordingly. Section 2, filing and map update. The city clerk and the Community Development Department are hereby authorized to take such ministerial actions as are necessary to update the city's official zoning records and maps to reflect the rezoning adopted herein. Section 3, repeal our ordinances, resolutions, regulations, or parts thereof in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, severability. If any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is declared invalid or unconstitutional by a court of competent jurisdiction, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision, and such holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 5, effective date. This ordinance shall take effect and be in full force 30 days after its passage and approval and publication as required by law.
All right, just for clearance, that's off Boardwalk Drive. It's about 2.39 acres. And this is just asking to be rezoned from an R2 to a C2, which is pretty much what the rest is. It passed the Planning and Zoning Commission with 8 yes votes. Anyone here to represent this property that would like to speak? Mr. Richardson, come up and state your name. You got 3 minutes, please.
Eric Richardson, Richardson Engineering, just here representing Posey Properties on this. So basically, I think this was a residual property on the north side of Posey Properties there. Entrance to Waterfall Way, the 8 acres that you drive by all the time, it's all been filled up out of the floodplain there. I think there were a couple acres that were left maybe after the blanket rezone came through the city, the way I understand it. Just asking if that's rezoned to the C2 there, like the rest of it to the south. Here to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Is this a part of a larger, is it gonna be connected with a larger plot of land?
Yes, sir, to the south of it, yeah. So the south half of it, or I guess 2/3 or what have you, is already C2. And so the north half just wasn't blanket rezoned whenever the highway corridor was rezoned.
Okay. And do we know what they plan to put?
We're not sure. It'll be a commercial development, commercial subdivision, likely 5 or 6 lots there.
How many?
5 or 6 lots, commercial lots, 1 to 2 acres. Kind of like what you see behind the Kroger, something like that, where HTO and all the restaurants and things like that. I don't know that it's going to be a high traffic area. I would say something to maybe medical offices or other. We don't know exactly what's coming there. We don't expect any high traffic retail or anything like that.
And there's also a medical office right adjacent to it, correct?
Doctor's office.
Yes, already.
Anyone else have any questions?
So the entrance and exit will be on Highway 5?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anyone else? All right, Thank you, sir. Please take a vote.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Ann Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Chad Slaughter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
Trevor Lyons.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 30 of 26 passes with 10 yeses. Councilmember Spencer Cole.
Yes, I'll make a motion to read and adopt ordinance number 31 of 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt ordinance number 31 of 26, please.
Ordinance number 31 of 2020, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for Barber College to be located at 1220 Military Road in the city of Benton, Arkansas, and for other purposes. Whereas B&D Property Management LLC filed an application with the Planning Commission of the city of Benton, Arkansas, requesting a conditional use permit to allow the use of the property located at 1220 Military Road, Benton, Arkansas, for Barber College. And whereas pursuant to ordinances and regulations of the city of Benton, the Planning Commission set the application for public hearing on May the 5th, 2026 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of considering the requested conditional use permit. And whereas notice of the public hearing was published in a newspaper having bona fide circulation, Saline County, Arkansas, and evidence was submitted demonstrating that all adjacent property owners or lessees were properly notified of the public hearing. And whereas following the public hearing, the Planning Commission voted to approve the requested conditional use permit. And whereas City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas has determined that granting the conditional use permit for a Barber College at the subject property is consistent with the city's zoning regulations and best interest of the city. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, a conditional use permit is hereby granted to B&D Property Management LLC for the operation of a Barber College on the following described property, address 1220 Military Road, Benton, Arkansas, 72015, parcel number 805-15161-000. Section 2, the conditional use permit authorized herein shall be limited to the use of the property for a Barber College and shall remain in effect for the life of the building so long as the property is continuously used for such purpose. The conditional use permit shall automatically expire if the building is removed, destroyed, becomes unusable, or if the use of the property as a Barber College is discontinued.
Just for clarification, it's over there where all the businesses, Hallmark, Last Arcade, over there in that shopping mall there, all military is where this is located. Anyone here representing 1220 Military Road that'd like to speak, please state your name. You have 3 minutes, sir.
My name's Aaron Jackson. I'm with Capital Barber College. I don't have anything to add, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions from the council?
How many students a year?
A year, so at one time I could have 20 students, and it would take about a year if they're full-time, so probably no more than 20 students a year. Could spill into 20 to 25.
Any other questions?
Is that Monday through Friday or how?
It'll be Tuesday through Saturday. Yes, sir. 8 to 4:30. Saturday could be 8 to 12, shorter day on Saturday.
So they're gonna need a little practice, so they need folks to come in and get it.
Right, we'll be open to the public every day.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, please take a vote.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Ann Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Chad Slaughter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
Trevor Lyons,
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 31 of 26 passes with 10 yes votes.
Yes, sir, I'd like to make a motion to read and adopt ordinance number 32 of 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt ordinance number 32 of 2026, please.
Ordinance number 32 of 2026. An ordinance accepting the annexation of certain territory into the city of Benton, Arkansas, services to be extended. Purposes. Whereas Makeup LLC filed petition for annexation pursuant to the Arkansas Code annotated Section 1440-609, requesting annexation of certain real property into the city of Benton, Arkansas, in case number CC 2026-3 in the county Court of Saline County, Arkansas. And whereas the Saline County Assessor and the Saline County Clerk verified the identification of the petitioner, that all property owners included in the petition consented to annexation, that the property described in the petition is contiguous to the existing corporate limits of the city, that acceptance of the petition will not create any enclave, and that the petition includes a schedule of municipal services as required by law. And whereas the Saline County Judge reviewed the petition and the records submitted by the County Assessor and County Clerk, determined that the petition is complete and accurate, confirmed that no enclave will be created by the annexation, determined whether roads and rights of way abutting or traversing the property should be included, and entered an order dated April the 29th, 2026, forwarding the petition to the City of Benton for consideration. And whereas City Council finds that annexation of the subject territory promotes the orderly growth and development of the city, is consistent with the public health, safety, and welfare, and that the zoning classifications assigned herein is compatible with the city's land and development patterns. Will be ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton of annexation of undescribed real property contiguous to the corporate limits of the City of Benton, Arkansas, together with any dedicated public roads and rights of way abutting or traversing the same to the extent required by the order of the county judge, is hereby accepted, annexed into, and made part of the City of Benton. And legal description, you'll see it there. And then it goes down onto the next page, down to section 2. Section 2, Schedule of Services. Pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated 1440-609, the city shall extend municipal services to the annexed territory within 3 years after the annexation becomes final, including police protection, fire protection, drainage, and stormwater management, and water and sewer service availability in accordance with city standards and subject to the property owner's completion at the property owner's expense, unless otherwise approved by the city, of all on-site and off-site infrastructure, easements, permits, fees, and connections requirements necessary to connect to the city's utility systems. Electric service shall continue to be provided by the applicable electric utility provider. All applicable tap fees, impact fees, connection fees, assessments, deposits, and standard service charges of the city shall apply. Section 3, Ward Assignment. The annexed territory is hereby assigned to Ward 5 of the City of Benton, Arkansas, subject to any future lawful redistricting or ward boundary adjustment. Section 4, Zoning Classification. The annexed territory is hereby assigned the R2 Single Family Housing District classification and shall thereafter be subject to the Benton zoning ordinance and all other development regulations of the city as amended from time to time. Section 5, Effective date and annexation. 1440-609, the annexation shall become final 30 days after passage of this ordinance unless a timely action is filed in circuit court as provided by law. Section 6, Clerk certification and filing. City clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify and transmit to the Saline County Clerk 1 copy of the ordinance and 1 copy of the plat of the annexed property, if the plat is available or required, together with any other documents required by Arkansas Code Annotated 1440-609. The city clerk is further authorized to take any additional ministerial action reasonably necessary to complete the filing and confirmation process required by law. Section 7, Severability. Any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by a court of competent jurisdiction, that holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 8, Repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinances and conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
This is 2 acres that are located off Scott-Salem Road, right in front of White Oak. Right across Scott-Salem is the city limits. So anyone here representing this piece of property that likes Mr. Hope?
Jonathan Hope with Hope Consulting. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the council?
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The driveways will be on White Oak.
Other questions?
All right.
Thank you. Hearing none. Let's take a vote, please.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Yes. Ian Spencer Cole.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Chad Slaughter.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
Trevor Valines.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 32-26 passes with 10 yeses.
I'd like to make a motion to read and adopt ordinance number 33 of 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read and adopt ordinance number 33 of 26, please.
Ordinance number 33 of 2026, an ordinance accepting the annexation of certain territory into the city of Benton, Arkansas, approving the schedule of services to be extended to said area, assigning such territory to a zoning district, assigning such territory to a ward, and for other purposes. Whereas Mark Carter filed a petition for annexation pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 144609, requesting annexation of certain real property into the city of Benton, Arkansas, in case number CC 2026-6 in County Court of Saline County, Arkansas. And whereas the Saline County Assessor and Saline County Clerk verified the identity of the petitioner, that all property owners included in the petition consented to annexation, that the property described in the petition is contiguous to the existing corporate limits of the city, that the acceptance of the petition will not create any enclave, that the petition includes a schedule of municipal services as required by law. And whereas the Saline County Judge reviewed the petition and the records submitted by the county assessor and county clerk, determined the petition is complete and accurate, confirmed that no enclaves will be created by the annexation, determined whether dedicated public roads and right-of-ways abutting or traversing the property should be included, and entered an order dated April the 17th, 2026, forwarding the petition to the city of Benton for consideration. And whereas the city council finds that the annexation of the subject territory promotes the orderly growth and development of the city, is consistent with the public health, safety, and welfare, and that the zoning classifications assigned herein is compatible with the city's land use planning and surrounding development patterns. Now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Benton, Arkansas. Section 1, acceptance of annexation. The following described real property contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Benton, Arkansas, together with any dedicated public roads and rights of ways abutting or traversing the same, to the extent required by the order of the county judge, is hereby accepted, annexed into, and made part of the city of Benton, Arkansas. So you'll have the legal description. It's parcel number 001-09201-000. There on page 2, it continues, the legal description continues to page 3. You'll notice at the bottom, it says, includes all right-of-ways of Mountain View Drive adjacent to the property. Section 2, schedule of services. Pursuant to the Arkansas Code annotated 144609, the city shall extend municipal services to an annexed territory within 3 years after the annexation becomes final, including police protection, fire protection, drainage and stormwater management, and water and sewer service availability in accordance with the city standards, subject to the property owner's completion at the property owner's expense, unless otherwise approved by the city, of all on-site and off-site infrastructure, easements, permits, fees, and connection requirements necessary to connect to the city's utility systems. Electric service shall continue to be provided by the applicable electric utility provider. All applicable tax fees, impact fees, connection fees, assessments, deposits, and standard service charges of the city shall apply. Section 3, ward assignment. The annexed territory is hereby assigned to Ward 2 of the city of Benton, Arkansas, subject to any future lawful redistricting or ward boundary. Section 4, zoning classification. The annexed territory is hereby assigned the R2 single-family housing district classification, and shall thereafter be subject to the Benton zoning ordinance and all other development regulations of the city as amended from time to time. Section 5, effective date of the annexation. Pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated 144609F, the annexation shall become final 30 days after passage of this ordinance, unless a timely action is filed in circuit court as provided by law. Section 6, clerk certification and filing. If the city accepts the petition for annexation, city clerk shall certify and send it to the Saline clerk. One copy of the plat of the annexed property, if a plat is available or required, and one copy of this ordinance, all as required by Arkansas Code Annotated 144609. Clerk is further authorized to take any additional ministerial action reasonably necessary to complete the filing and confirmation process required by law. Section 7, severability. In subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by court of competent jurisdiction. That holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinance in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict.
All right, this piece of property is referred to as Dobbs Creek. It's just the other side to the west of the Mountain View Road behind the CTE. There's about 60 acres. It depends on what happens tonight is where it goes from here. So Is there anyone here that represents this piece of property that'd like to speak for or against it?
Jonathan Hope, Hope Consulting. Again, happy to answer any questions. This was brought to you all previously. I think originally it was a R3 rezoning that did not happen. Then it was pulled back to R2 and annexation was required. So we're coming to do the annexation, proposing the R2. And again, happy to answer any questions.
Question, this may be a Scribner's error, but on the legal description at the bottom where it says, and also to include all rights-of-way in Harper Drive and North Shore Drive, that shouldn't be on there,
No,
right?
I don't know what that would be.
Okay.
That might have been something that went to council last month, I think.
Well, went to committee,
Or
last committee meeting.
Okay, yeah,
That's,
sounds familiar.
Jason told the committee at that time that was overlooked on his part.
Gotcha. Correct. But this would just be residential subdivision R2, so that's 7,000 square foot lots on that one. So I think since originally when it came before this body, there was a lot of people that were concerned about traffic on Mountain View Road. And so an additional access point easement has been acquired to go south onto the service road. Besides that, if you have any more questions.
How many properties are you planning on, or how many houses are you planning on?
So I think on R2, maximum layout that they did before was like 284, but at that point, they had not completed any sort of drainage studies and put in detention ponds. So I think once you put in detention ponds, you're probably looking at more like 270, 275.
How many acres are we talking about?
62 acres. So it'd be similar to Richland Hills, Eden Estates, Pleasant Forest, that size house, or that size lot.
Do they have a site plan that's gone to P&Z yet?
So that would happen next. After the annexation's approved in the 30-day, that we would be able to present that if the R2 is acceptable.
Because as of August the 1st last year, when the state did away with the ETJ, they can't go before the planning and zoning because we have no authority outside the city limits of Benton. So the first step is got to be annexed into the city before it can go to planning and zoning.
That was a new guy question, sorry.
So everyone needs to hear that.
Yes, sir.
And this is 60 acres, is that correct? 62? And it's not C2, it's going to be actually R2.
It would be, we're proposing R2, so next we would go to P&Z and then ask for, confirm that R2. You tell me if I'm wrong, Jason. So we'll send out notifications to adjacent property owners, put up signs, and then we will come back to P&Z confirming the R2. But yes, that's what we're proposing is R2.
And did I hear you correctly saying that is 275 homes
Correct. That's a good,
on 60 acres?
good approximate number. So that's about 4.5 homes per acre.
Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Hope?
Pretty small lot.
It's pretty small, so you've got, R3 is more density than R2. So you've got R1 is your biggest lot zoning district, so I think it's 11,500 minimum square feet. I've never done that in Benton, proposed that, that's pretty big. And then the step below that is R2. And so that's what we're proposing, that's the 7,000 square foot minimum.
If it's in the county, or if it stays in the county like it is right now, what are the requirements as far as lot size?
So they require, I think they put in a new width requirement, I think is 75-foot wide lots. But as long as you can get septic or a treatment plant, you know, you wouldn't have to tie onto the city sewer. So it's not much different, honestly, square footage wise than what we're proposing with 7,000 square foot. So if it's like a 70 by 100, that's 7,000 square feet. So if they were in the county, they could get pretty close to that. It's just they would have to get a sewer treatment plant.
And they also, correct me if I'm wrong, they wouldn't have to have curb and gutter. Is that correct?
They could propose it without curb and gutter.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Lee?
I've had 4 separate homeowners that live out there call me today. I've never had that many.
Right.
22 years, I've never had that many at one time.
Right.
Ever. And they're totally opposed to it because one of their fears is that the size of these homes will devalue their real big, pretty homes. And I don't know of anybody that appreciates losing value of anything.
So,
Never met him.
I'm not an appraiser,
I know
real
what
estate
your
expert.
job is.
This is, the way the bird flies, I mean, you're like 1,800 feet, 15 to 1,800 feet south of the Grove. And the Grove it's pretty much this. The Grove is on average 6,000 square feet lots.
How far away is it?
1,800 linear feet to the north. So if you're looking at a map, Mountain View Road cuts across, we're here. The Grove is just north of it, kind of northwest of the CPE. So, I mean, quarter mile away. So those houses are pretty close to this.
Pretty close, like 500 square feet, maybe?
Oh, you talking about lot sizes? Yeah, so the Grove is average 6,000 square feet lots. We're proposing R2, which is 7,000 square feet lots, so it's similar. 1,000 square feet difference in the lot size.
Did the city have anything to do with determining the lots in that subdivision to compare it to?
So that was a plat that was approved back when the ETJ was existing, and the city council, I'm trying to remember what year it was, early 2000s, did a pre-annexation agreement to extend sewer, to take the sewer.
2000?
2000, maybe 2009. City council did a,
When Dan Mattingly done that speech?
I don't know if it was him or not. I actually think the original developer might have been Aaron Jones. Maybe it was Dan Matty, I'm not sure. But the city council, yes, they had a part of the review, and then subsequently, all of those plats came through the city of Benton because it was a pre-annexation with ETJ.
And if you remember, all the ETJ went away.
Right, yeah. So the Grove is still under the pre-annexation agreement, but no longer any sort of authority by this body. Baxter can correct me if I'm wrong.
So I had a couple calls as well. The concern that people that called me expressed for property values, but also for beautification, because, it's rural and it's pretty.
Right.
Is the developer planning to do something to, I guess, enhance it, not make it look just like a blanket subdivision, but entrances and exits, try to beautify it, or going to be any plans along that line?
I'd just be speculating, honestly.
That would come under the Planning and Zoning Commission to require those things if it's annexed into the city.
What
We
about
did-
traffic study or anything of that nature?
No traffic studies. Yeah, so no traffic study's been completed. We did get some, I was here at some of the previous meetings when it was discussed, and traffic was a huge topic. And that's when the owner developer, I believe, went out and acquired the additional access points to the service road to try to direct traffic that way. So everything's not dumping on the main road.
You said that'll go out on the south side.
That would be an option, yes, to the south. And then the city also, Mr. Lyons recommended no lots facing Mountain View Road, so we don't have any driveways on Mountain View Road. And so that's going to be something that we modify the plat to make sure we don't have any driveways accessing Mountain View Road at all.
If I may, a lot of feedback that I've gotten, a lot of feedback that I've been getting is, there's some opposition out there to the annexation,
Right.
But by and large, change is inevitable, right? And I don't think what I've been hearing is there's necessarily a huge objection to a subdivision being built. I think the objection that I've been getting is the size of property that's going to be developed there, with a lot of concern related to, impact on property values, potential safety, issues, things like that. So is there any opportunity for some consideration to redesign that plot to maybe go a little bit larger to maybe alleviate some of those concerns?
So I wish he was here to answer that question. I can definitely give your feedback back to him. And then when we get these comments, like the one we received from Jason the other day about his thoughts on not accessing Mountain View Road, we incorporated that into the drawing. I'll definitely relay that message back to him, and then we would still have to come back
Still got to
to
go back to
planning,
P&Z,
yes,
right?
planning commission, and then they would get another vote at that and get another look at that. So I'll definitely take that, everybody's input into it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Why don't we table this till it goes back and these questions are answered?
From a legal standpoint, I'm speaking to that. The question before the council tonight is to annex the piece of property. We're not approving what's built on it, or we're annexing a piece of property. A lot of the questions are getting towards, and you have other questions once, but that is getting towards the step that comes later. They're gonna go back, you say yes on annex, they're gonna take this back to P&Z. P&Z's gonna look at what's being built and how it's gonna be built there. And they'll have to do their plat approval there and come back. So we're getting a little bit ahead of where this is from a legal standpoint, what's being asked to you all tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If you remember, the council voted months ago that we would not allow city water or city sewer to be given outside the city limits of Benton. That is an ordinance that this council passed. The whole idea behind annexation before they can move forward with any plans is to figure out whether they get city water or city sewer. That's what annexation means. The plat will not go, if annexed tonight, will not go until the July Planning and Zoning Committee meeting.
Mayor, and I think you said this earlier, I just want to get this right. Since we no longer have a ETJ, if this annexation is denied tonight, we have no authority whatsoever on what happens on that property.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a question? If not, let's take a vote.
Question, if this is the Scrivener's, do we need
We need to change that.
do we need to motion to amend that or to strike that last and then? Yes.
Yeah, I think it just got missed. I thought I provided a new copy to Cindy. Basically, it's stating any of the portions of Mountain View Drive that are adjacent to this will come into the city, which is typical for annexations.
So we have, yeah,
So, yeah,
so it needs to stay is what you were saying.
correct.
But the part about the North Shore, though, that needs to be removed.
Correct.
You have
North
the,
Shore,
okay, you have an older one that we've since updated. You want, this is the one that's the one that the mayor and I will sign. It's the correct one.
Yes, this looks a lot better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Any other
Sorry.
questions? All right, please take a vote.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Ian Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Chad Slaughter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jeff Hart,
Yes.
Trevor Valline,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
No.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
No.
18.
All right, ordinance number 3326 passes 8-2. Let's go on to PUC Commission. Sorry.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to take read and adopt resolution 26, please.
Resolution 26 of 2026, a resolution waiving schedule of bidding and authorizing the purchase of a Flight 3202 60 horsepower 8-inch discharge 460-volt NT pump with pump station equipment for Benton Utilities and for other purposes. Whereas Benton Utilities, oh, no, I don't have to read anymore. Yeah, I can, thank you.
All right, thank you. This is a sole source, the only one that can provide this. That's we reasonably rate competitive bid. There's no one left in the audience to make a comment. So any questions from the council? Seeing none or hearing none, let's take a vote.
Ann Spencer Cole,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Chad Swatter,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
Trevor Lyons,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Rowe.
Yes.
10 yes.
All right, we have 10 yeses, so resolution number 26 of 2026 has passed. All right, there's nothing from the street committee tonight. Is there anyone from the public? There's only 2 left from the public. Would either of you like to speak at this time? I see no heads nodding, so we'll move on to announcements. This Wednesday is the A&P meets at 3:30 in this room. It was scheduled last week and they rescheduled it to this Wednesday. This Thursday is our third Thursday. It's kids' night. We're supposed to set the Hot Wheel record at 2,616.93 feet, if it doesn't rain us out. The other thing I want to make sure that we point out before we talk about the calendar is this Saturday, that the Benton softball team will play at 7 p.m. at Majestic Park. The Benton baseball team will play at 4 p.m. at Majestic Park for the state title for our state. So I did want to make sure everyone pointed that out. We look at the calendar. There's a lot of things happening in the month of June. Of course, committee meetings will be the 9th. Amplified, largest free Christian concert in the world, free. That's the key thing, is the 12th and 13th of June this year instead of in August. So I want to make sure that point out. The Benton Chamber is sponsoring a Benton Restaurant Week. We have a new guy in the technology. Thank you for getting that up there. If you want to see what restaurants are participating, it runs through June the 14th through the 20th. You look at the QR code for that. The 18th is also the third Thursday. City Hall will be closed on the 19th for Juneteenth. And our next council meeting will be the 22nd. And just for you that want to plan and join the 15,000 people that come into the Red, White, and Blue, it's July the 3rd. And we'll start the festivities at 7 this year instead of at dark like we normally. All right.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
Wednesday, CADC will be at Saline County Fairground, and we will be having a free frozen meat distribution for Saline County residents only. We're asking that people that come have a photo ID and a utility bill showing their residency to Saline County. We're doing this in all 19 counties that CADC serve.
What are the times?
The time is 9 a.m., but they'll be there before 9 a.m.
So they can start picking up at 9 a.m.
They can start picking up at 9 a.m. They can get in line at any time, and
right.
it's no age requirement on this, and I don't think they're even asking for income. So, to my knowledge. And it's first come, first served for 300 households. 40 pound, I think it's about 40, 50 pounds of meat.
40 or 50 pounds of meat to be given away June
Yes.
13th?
No.
When?
Wednesday.
This
This
Wednesday.
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 This
Just
Wednesday.
wanted to make sure everyone knew that.
Yes,
Wednesday
I'm
at
sorry.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
So get lined up at 6.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else have anything? If not, let's adjourn.
No.
Well, I wasn't gonna go down there, and I text Miss Molly to remind her about we were gonna be there, and she asked me about getting the key. And then she said,